spent all week working through different potential deals with our players. With all players, we are at the mercy of markets. With Eduardo specifically, his performance is a fit for every team in baseball. Every team in baseball would want that type of starter in their rotation. However, there were some contractual headwinds that influenced his market. There were a couple of terms in his contract that disqualified a lot of markets from pursuing him. So we were working with the market that we had with Eduardo. We were communicating with Eduardo, in person, via text, and on the phone. And at the end of the day, we reached an agreement on Eduardo that he was not comfortable with. And he ultimately decided to stay in Detroit. If the consolation prize for, not getting that deal is we get one of the best left-handed starters in baseball on the mound every 5 nights, sign me up for that. We're excited to get Eduardo back. He's been a very powerful mentor for some of our young starters, and he's going to give us a great chance to win every 5 days.
Can I just follow up with, did that precipitate any talks about what may happen this offseason in terms of his opt-out?
We have had conversations throughout the year with Eduardo directly. None that I can really share on this call out of respect for Eduardo. But, listen, he sent a very strong message that he likes it here. And we want players to like it here in Detroit and to want to stay here. And he demonstrated that.
Thanks, Chris. We'll go next to Larry Lage from the Associated Press.
Hey, Scott, just to follow up on that, can you specifically confirm that that a proposed trade with the Dodgers was nixed because of his provision?
I mean, listen, I know that's been widely reported. I can't confirm everything that has been reported. I can share that there was a deal that did not go through with the Dodgers. That's about it, all I can share out of respect for the Dodgers and Eduardo himself.
Thanks, Larry. We'll go to Cody Stavenhagen from The Athletic.
Yeah, Scott, at what point did you find out that deal was not going to go through, and did you look elsewhere to arrange a deal after that?
Yeah, it was a long road, a long process on that. It didn't go through, in the last hour before the deadline. A lot of these processes take a lot longer than it seems on, Twitter and on TV. These are long, difficult processes, and we ultimately determined that the deal was not going to go through in the last hour. I can't really share the other conversations that we had, but I assure you that we explored every market for our players.
Sure. How do you feel about what went down today? You traded Lorenzen, didn't move some other guys on expiring deals, Shreve and Cisnero, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think, we were really active all week. I didn't get a whole lot of sleep all week, having a lot of conversations with the other clubs around the game. We came into this deadline, wanting to be active, but not in a position where we felt like we had to move anybody. We don't ever want to be in a position where we feel like we have to move anybody. And we don't want to be in a position where we have to move players for spare parts. We're really excited about the deal that we got for Michael Lorenzen. Hao-Yu Lee is the type of position playing prospect that we've been after. He's hit at every level. He's still very young. He's 20 years old, and he swings at the right pitches. He makes a ton of contact, and he drives the ball in the air. We also think that the power is on the come, and he can play multiple positions on the dirt. We need more of those types of bats in our system, and we're excited to add one in Hao-Yu Lee. I also can share that we acquired Eddie Leonard from the Dodgers in a small trade. He's another player who's performed really well at the lower levels and does a lot of the things under the hood that we like in hitters. We're going to send him straight to AAA and give him a chance to demonstrate that he can perform at that level.
Did you send any players back in that deal?
The latter deal?
Yes.
We did not.
Thanks, Cody. We'll go next to Evan Petzold from the Free Press.
Hey, Scott. Yeah, with Eduardo, I mean, were there any teams not named the Dodgers who had offers in on him in recent days?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Out of respect for those teams, I can't actually comment on, you know, what was on the table. Hopefully I alluded to the details of his market in my opening answer, but that's about as far as I can go. So I hope you understand.
For sure. I'm not speaking like directly to which teams, but just like there were other offers on the table then.
Again, I can't comment on, you know, what was on the table for Eduardo's market or any of the markets. So I don't think that's fair.
For sure. And then do you guys plan to pursue a contract extension with him or a renegotiation of his contract at all from either this point until the end of the season?
Again, it's really just, it's not fair for me to comment on that. We are having conversations with a lot of players all the time. The nature of those conversations, I think, should remain confidential. And if we have news to share on those conversations, we will be the first to share it with you guys. So not about hiding the ball at all. It's just more about protecting, you know, confidential information between, you know, different clubs and us and our own players.
For sure. And then last thing too, just we saw it with Justin Verlander, we saw it with Max Scherzer when it comes to these guys that, you know, have the no trade clauses. How does that work between like team and player? And when you guys find out about that and when you guys go to the player, like how does that process work normally?
I think every organization is different. I think, you know, every president of baseball operations is different. I pride myself on, you know, regular communication with our players, specifically with Eduardo. I talked to him many times all week, you know, in person, via text and on the phone. That's how I did it. You know, you would have to ask Billy Epler and Rick Hahn how they did it with Scherzer and Lynn. But that's how I did it.
For sure. Thank you.
Sure.